Hi there, it's April 29th, time for Proverbs 29. We are still struggling through this Living Bible. Like one day left, we have to do 2 tomorrow because there's no 31st day in April. So let's get into it, shall we? Here, okay. The man who is often reproved but refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be broken and never have another chance. That's a big one, huh? A person often rebuked who becomes obstinate will suddenly be broken beyond remedy. Okay? Rebuked who becomes obstinate. Refuses to accept criticism. Yeah, well, you can only tell somebody something so many times, huh? 2. With good men in authority, the people rejoice, but with the wicked in power, they groan. Do we need to go into that in detail? When the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked person rules, people groan. Right? Kind of going on different parts of the world, huh? 3. A wise son makes his father happy, but a lad who hangs around with prostitutes disgraces him. A lad? Irish? A man who loves wisdom makes his father glad, but he who involves himself with prostitutes wastes his wealth. Wastes his wealth. Different things, huh? Both are true, but somebody pop in your head. 4. A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. And that goes on just about everywhere. Huh? Some countries call it lobbying, and other countries call it bribery and extortion. It's the same thing. That. Okay, 5 and 6 they put together. Not over here, but flattery is a trap. Evil men are caught in it, but good men stay away and sing for joy. A man who flatters his neighbor is spreading a net for his steps. Now see, that says a different thing. By wrongdoing, an evil person is ensnared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. And that is 2 different verses. And this can mean 2 different things, too. We're going to make this blue just for... Because it says flattery is a trap. Evil men are caught in it. And they brand them together when they're 2 different things. A man who flatters his neighbor is spreading a net for his steps. By wrongdoing, an evil person is ensnared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. Okay, I always took those as 2 completely different verses. If you run them together, you can get that out of running these 2 different verses together. Right? Because it was taken to mean spreading a net for your steps is a safety net. You know, flatter your neighbor and always be nice to him, then there's a safety net. If something goes wrong, he's going to help you out. Okay? In a totally separate verse, by wrongdoing, an evil person is ensnared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. Okay, that's... Okay, tell me if you agree with that or not. I don't agree with this, the way they put that together. 7. The good man knows the poor man's rights. The godless don't care. I highlighted that over here. We're going to make it a different color because blue is for something else. The righteous is concerned for the rights of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such concern. It's true. That is true. The godless, the wicked don't care. Okay? 8. Fools start fights everywhere, while wise men try to keep peace. Arrogant people inflame a city. You like that? They inflame a city. So that's going on, isn't it? Right now. And you know what? All these protests going on all over the country, and all over the world, actually, they are all paid for by a couple of very rich people who wanted to just do nothing but destroy things. Okay? The people that are protesting, 99% of them don't actually feel that way and don't even know why they're protesting, except that they're getting money for it. Okay? Fools. The fools they talk about. It's important to say wise people don't do that. Hey, 9. There's no use arguing with a fool. He only rages and scoffs and tempers flare. Right. It scoffs. It says laughs over here. When a wise person has a controversy with a foolish person, the foolish person either rages or laughs, or there is no rest. Or they give up and start calling you names like you're a racist, right? It goes on all the time. Don't argue with fools. It doesn't do any good. 10. The godly pray for those who long to kill them. That's important. What did Jesus say? Pray for your enemies. Right? Pray for your enemies. It says it completely different over here. People of bloodshed hate the blameless person, but the upright are concerned for his life. Okay, well, that is a paraphrase, isn't it? 11. A rebel shouts in anger. A wise man holds his temper in and cools it. Right. A fool always loses his temper, but a wise person holds it back. Get it? It's important. And it's fool, okay? There's no rebels. It's a fool. It is a fool. Okay? Fool. The one word that makes me want to never read the Living Bible again. Okay? 12. A wicked ruler will have a wicked aides on his staff. Yeah, right. That is true now, isn't it, buddy? Should we highlight that? Just because? Okay, 13. Rich and poor alike are alike in this. Each depends on God for light. Well, the rich don't depend on God. They take it for granted. Okay? The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. Okay? 14. A king who is fair to the poor shall have a long reign. Right? If a king judges the poor with truth, his throne will be established forever. Right? Not a lot of truth going on now, is there? It's still there. The truth never goes away, but... Hey, 15. Scolding and spanking a child helps him to learn. Left to himself, he brings shame to his mother. Right. The rod and a rebuke give wisdom, but a child who gets his own way brings blame to his mother. Right. Now, they did say scolding and spanking. That's actually a good paraphrase of that, you know. Doesn't say give him a timeout and promise to buy him candy if he's good. It says scolding and spanking. The rod and rebuke. 16. When rulers are wicked, their people are true, but good men will live to see the tyrant's downfall. There's a hope for us all, huh? There's a hope for everybody. When the wicked increase, wrongdoing increases, but the righteous will see their downfall. Right. I like that. Put that on your wall. 17. Discipline your son, and he will give you happiness and peace of mind. He will delight your soul. That's true. Discipline is important. 18. Where there is ignorance of God, crime runs wild. But what a wonderful thing it is for a nation to know and keep his laws. His laws, okay? All of this doesn't talk about keeping all the 200,000 laws of today that they've made. They're talking about God's law. You know, the 10 Commandments and His rules that cover everything. And what it doesn't cover, Jesus put another one in there. Love one another. Just that simple. 19. Sometimes mere words are not enough. Discipline is needed, for the words may not be heeded. A slave will not be instructed by words alone, for though he understands, there will be no response. Right. That's true. That goes along with disciplining your children, huh? Sometimes you can't just tell them, don't do that anymore. Okay. And they just go do it again. Has to be consequences. 20. There is more hope for a fool than for a man of quick temper. And it doesn't say quick temper, okay? It says, do you see a person who is hasty in his words? Okay. That's not a quick temper. That's somebody who's blurting out something before he understands what the question even is. Okay, and that happens all the time. More hope for a fool than for him. Some people, you can't tell them anything because they already know everything. That's not a quick temper. Okay. 21. Pamper a servant from childhood, and he will expect you to treat him as a son. Pretty true. And it says here, one who pampers his slave from childhood will in the end find him to be rebellious. Now that's the word rebellious used in its proper sense. Okay? Find him as a son. Well, yeah. 22. A hot-tempered man starts fights and gets into all kinds of trouble. Yeah. Angry person stirs up strife, and a hot-tempered person abounds in wrongdoing. It's true. Calm, humble. Not easy always, okay? 23. Pride ends in a fall, while humility brings honor. Pride goeth before a fall. Something your grandma used to say. Person's pride will bring him low, but a humble spirit will obtain honor. Humble, humility, humble. One of the most important attributes in all of Proverbs, it says, to be humble. 24. A man who assists a thief must really hate himself, for he knows the consequence, but does it anyways. One who is a partner with a thief takes his own life. He hears the oath, but tells nothing. Well, hates himself, takes his own life. Okay. Well, sometimes they don't go far enough, huh? In their paraphrase. 25. Fear of man is a dangerous trap, but to trust in God means safety. Wow. Fear of man is a dangerous trap, but to trust in God means safety. It should say fear the Lord, huh? The fear of man brings a snare, but one who trusts in the Lord will be protected. Gibbs. It is a trap. Okay. 26. Do you want justice? Don't fawn on the judge, but ask the Lord for it. Fawn on the judge. Many seek a ruler's favor, but justice of mankind comes from the Lord. All right. Fawn on the judge. That's very strange. 27. The good hate the badness of the wicked. The wicked hate the goodness of the good. Wow, that's a tongue twister, huh? An unjust person is an abomination to the righteous, and one who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. Okay? And you could say that. The bad hate the good, and the good hate the bad. So, there you go. That's Proverbs 29. Let's go over our highlights here real quick. We highlighted 2. With good men in authority, the people rejoice, but with the wicked in power, they groan. Simple statement. You don't really need to go into that because you just need to look around, okay? I mean, Stuff is pretty much following the Bible just how it said it would, and we're right there in the birth pains, you know. You know what Jesus said? In the birth pains. Things will happen here pretty soon. I highlighted 5 and 6 because I don't agree with it. I mean, it's two separate verses, and they ran them together to say something totally different. And he says, flattery is a trap. Evil men are caught in it, but good men stay away and sing for joy. Okay, and two different words. 5 is flatter. A man who flatters his neighbor is spreading a net for his steps. That's a safety net to me. That says that is a safety net. If you flatter your neighbor, you're always nice to him. If something bad happens, you're going to have a safety net there. Okay? And 6, by wrongdoing, an evil person is ensnared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. Okay? And they ran 6 into 5 and make it sound like something totally different. I don't agree with that. Okay? You might, which is okay. They're running 5 and 6. A man who flatters his neighbor is ensnared. Okay? That's not what it says. Okay? Not what it says. You highlighted 8. Fools start fights everywhere. Wise men try to keep the peace. It's pretty true. Look at all these protesters. They're all fools, every one of them. Okay? Don't know what they're protesting. Arrogant people inflame a city. But the wise person, turn away anger. Wise people turn away anger. Okay? And you know what? On all these protesters stuff, if everybody ignored them, they'd go away. You know, people only protest to get a response. If they get no response, they're like, "Why are we even here?" And then sometimes, if they get no response, they inflame a city. Okay, they start turning over cars just to get the attention that they want. Okay, it's all about getting the attention they want. Okay, 10. They really shorten this. The godly pray for those who long to kill them. And that's true. People of bloodshed hate the blameless person, but the upright are concerned for his life. Okay? It says those who long to kill them hate the godly people. And a lot of them do. Okay? Again, with the rebel and fool. A rebel is not a fool, and a fool is not a rebel. Two totally different words. Right? And we highlighted 12. A wicked ruler will have wicked aides on his staff. I pretty much see that. Oh. Because they're all bad. And 15, important. Scolding and spanking a child helps him to learn. Left to himself, he brings shame to his mother. Right. And that's, you can go to the grocery store and see this every day where kids are left to themselves and they are not scolded and spanked, and they're screaming and their mother's embarrassed and they're throwing fits, and you know. And sometimes you want to step in and say, let me show you how to discipline a child. But you can't. You just have to walk away. Yeah. You highlighted 16. When rulers are wicked, their people are too. But good men will live to see the tyrant's downfall. Okay. That's kind of the same as it said up here. A wicked ruler will have wicked aides on his staff. Okay. When rulers are wicked, their people are too. Good men will live to see their downfall. Right. We highlighted his laws over here. Keep his laws. 18. Happy is one who keeps the law. We were talking about the law being God's law, not all the laws. You know, when they're talking in the Old Testament about following the law, they mean God's law, God's commands. Okay? And that's all of them, not just the 10 Commandments. I mean, there's some stuff he said to do and not to do in like Deuteronomy. Lots of them. Read that. I won't go into it because that'll start a whole new conversation. Things that are happening today that are not part of God's law. And they are trying to make laws to make them okay when they're not okay. Okay? We'll just leave that there. You can message me and I will go into it if you like. Okay? And 19 kind of goes with 15. Scolding and spanking a child helps them to learn. Sometimes mere words are not enough. Discipline is needed, for the words may not be heeded, right? Just that same mom in the grocery store, she's telling her, saying, don't do that, no, you be good, and I'll buy you candy, and it doesn't work. Words aren't heeded. And this is another blue, which means they use the wrong words. Okay? More hope for a fool than a man of quick temper. That's not what it says. Okay? Do you see a man who is hasty in his words? It doesn't say anything about having a temper. It says hasty in his words. Some people think they know everything and they want to spread their knowledge to you, even though it's wrong. Okay? There's more hope for a fool than for people like that. Not a man of quick temper. That's not what the words say. So, and that's what we highlighted. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 29 for April 29th. Just one day left. We'll get 2 in tomorrow. It'll be a little longer because there is no 31st in April, so we will do 2 chapters tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we'll start a brand new version. I haven't decided. If you want me to do a version you haven't heard, let me know in the comments, and we'll do a different version. There are, as you can see, just in this particular program, there's probably over 100 translations in here, and just tons of them. So, yeah. So remember, be humble and all that stuff. See you later. Stay tuned later today. We're still through the Bible in 1 year, and I'm not sure what we're doing today, but we'll get to it. See you later.